Morning, everyone. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. And it is that time of year, the halfway point of the year. And if you saw my, yesterday I just filmed some videos on my favorite books so far of the year. It turned into a two-part video because I talk way too much and ramble a lot, like I will probably do in this video. So I thought I would also do the mid-year freakout tag for the first time because I didn't do last year. So let's get started in this before I ramble too long. Plus, I have to be at my shift at work starts at 12, so I'm probably going to leave at like 11:50. So let's get started. Okay. Best book, question number 1 is best book of 2018, which this is a book I'm going to mention quite a few times in this tag. And let's see. And that is Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I just fell in love with this book and its whimsy and its light, fluffy storytelling, and it just got me more interested in middle grade novels. And I love all the characters, even the characters who turn out to be quote unquote evil, and like I said, I love the whimsy, and I love this world of Nevermore, and I would love to go to that world myself, just like I always wanted to go to the Wizarding World like everybody else. And this is it was just a fun, awesome book. Question number 2. The best sequel. One of the few questions where Nevermore is not going to be the answer. Which, I mean, it's not like I use Nevermore for all the answers, but I use it as an answer for quite a few questions. And that is Gathering Darkness. This is the third book in the Fallen Kingdom series. And this series is awesome. I love the multi-perspective, the magic system, all the characters, and how they're not like good, they're not straight up good guys or bad guys. There's shades of gray throughout all of these characters. And this third book just amps up everything, and my favorite ship happens at the end of this book, and it just and this book I feel like is a turning point for one of the characters. For actually not just one of them, a lot of the characters, this book I feel like it's a turning point. These characters finally choose a side, I think. And just, it's, so much happens in this book. And I think, like I said, it's the best, I think it's the best sequel so far. Although, I loved Gathering of Shadows. That was a great sequel too. And I've been rereading the Harry Potter books. So of course the Harry Potter books are, great sequels as well. And but I chose this one. It was hard for me to choose, but I did choose this one. Don't ask me to pinpoint why I chose this one. I just did. Okay, so question number 3. A new release you haven't read but want to. And I don't have this new release yet. It just came out, and I do want to, but I'm going to, for the sake of showing something, I'm going to show the first book right before it, and that is Caraval. So the new release is obviously Legendary, the sequel to Caraval. And there are others, but, and, oh, wait, no, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Sorry, got confused there when I read my questions. I personally love the first book, and yes, I love Scarlet as a character. I know a lot of people hate her character, and the fact that I love her makes me, because sometimes you love characters that you relate to, and that's why you love them, because you connect the most with them. Either that, or they're so different from you that's why you love them, because you want to be them. But in the case of Scarlet, I kind of relate to her, so it makes me think if I was in a book, would people not like me too? Because I'm a lot like Scarlet, I feel like. So, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good about myself. But, I mean, I could be totally wrong. I mean, you know. But I'll never know because my life is not a book and I'm not that egotistical, so. I cannot wait for Legendary. I know, I can't wait to read about, I can't remember her name. Tella. I can't wait to read Tella's story because I love both characters. And unless a character is a villain, I don't hate characters. I mean, there's some characters that I just want to smack, even if they're not a villain, because they're just so egotistical. And I think a lot of people feel that way about Scarlet. They just can't stand her, and she makes dumb decisions. I mean, I'm not blind to that. It's just I like this character in this book, and I feel like, and like I said, I feel like I can kind of relate to her, which brings me back once again. Does that mean that that people wouldn't like me as a character? Well, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about, being all focusing on me, and just saying I am really excited for Legendary. I don't know if I'm gonna get it like sometime soon or just wait until it comes out in paperback. The problem is when paperbacks take a year or more for them to come out, and sometimes books don't even come out in paperback. It's just, I mean, at least now I have an income coming in, so I'll get money. And before, I didn't have a job, so there's no guarantee that money would be coming in to me. It was kind of the same. It kind of stayed the same, but now I have money coming in regularly, so I can loosen the reins a little bit, which I have, especially since I joined BookTube. And I might just go ahead and buy Legendary, even though it's hardback right now. But yeah, I can't wait for that character, for Legendary, to read that one. But like I said, I have not bought it yet. Okay, so question number 4 is kind of similar to question number 3. A most anticipated release for the second half. So this, I think the difference is this is a book that has not come out yet. And for the sake of showing you something, because it has not come out yet, is Kingdom of Ash, the last book in this lovely series. Which, by the way, if you did not watch my video on the books I bought the other day, on it was books I just bought, and in parentheses, look what I got on a discount, or guess what I got on a discount, and that was this book actually for $4.97. See, but it's not an exclusive edition, so that's why it's so cheap. It's not, and I guess probably they're trying to sell the book, and this town is not one of the, it doesn't, although there are high schools and middle schools, elementary schools here, so those people might be getting into, I don't know if those people are into, like, fantasy, but either way, I'm wasting my money, I'm spending my money there, and I really hope it doesn't ever lose business. But, yeah, Kingdom of Ash, the last book in this series. So she's done, which is good, because now I can just focus on ACOTAR and her new series that she's going to start soon. I can't remember what she said the book was called, but she hasn't, unless she didn't give away a title, I don't remember. But she's coming out with a new book, and I can't wait for that one. And but right now I'm anticipating Kingdom of Ash, and I still have to get A Court of Frost and Starlight, because I do want to read it. Despite, I know a lot of people didn't like it, and they were disappointed because it really was just a novella, and it was really just fluff. And I guess people didn't want to spend any more time with Freya and Rhys, even though she told us what was coming. She warned us. She said that it was a novella. It really was a novella, and that it was the last. We were just checking up on the characters, and that yes, it was going to be the last Freya and Rhys book. She told us that. So, yes, I can't wait for Kingdom of Ash. Put this on the ground because it'll probably fall my stack here. Okay, next, because the next page, the biggest disappointment, and I said 0 because I've never been disappointed with a book. I mean, yes, there are books that I'm just like, they're okay, I'm just like, I like it, but I don't need to keep it or anything, but it's never been because I'm disappointed with the book. I've never been disappointed. I've always enjoyed my books. Every book I've read. I mean, if there is a book I was ever disappointed with, I can't think of it right now. Well, I guess. Well, the thing is, I didn't read this book, but I guess the closest to disappointment would be ACOWAR. But, I mean, I loved most of that book. I'm just disappointed with the second half, with the war and stuff. But, I didn't read that this year. I read that back in 2017, so I feel like I can't count that one. But that was the closest to disappointment, I guess. So yeah, I'd be lying when I said I've never been disappointed with a book. Okay, biggest surprising read. And I said Animal Farm by George Orwell. First of all, this edition is awesome. So I didn't think I would like this book. I thought it was more like a book I felt like I had to read it. And like it was something that, it's a classic that everybody has to read at least once in their lifetime. But I actually really loved it. I thought it was, I'm still gonna donate it or give it to my best. Actually, I'm gonna try, if my best friends ever, my 2 other best friends, because I have 3 best girls that I consider best friends. If the 2 of them that still live in my old hometown come to visit me at some point, I'm going to give this to her because it costs money to mail them things. I guess I could, but like I said, it costs money, and yes, I have a job, but I'm not made of money, so I can't go. I still have to be a little bit cautious with my spending. But I really enjoyed this book. Like I said, I'm still gonna give it to my friend, and I don't know if I'll ever want to have the desire to read it again. Maybe I will in the future and buy another copy of it. But I do love this copy. I think this is really cool. And I think it's the concept of it is very interesting. I like how it takes a look at a very important issue and does it in a way that's more accessible and entertaining. And I definitely got really angry when reading this book and thinking, when are you going to realize how dumb you're being? when are you going to get it, you dumbass? These dumb animals. Forgive me, Rascal, you're not dumb. Although sometimes I wonder. But yeah, this was just a really good book, and I definitely, like I said, it's a classic that I think people should check out. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody because just not everybody's gonna be interested. But if you are interested, definitely recommend checking it out. And it's not that long; it's only 10 chapters. And like I said, this edition, I love this edition. I think this is an anniversary edition. I think it's so cool that it looks like a children's novel. And a children's book, not a novel. And it has illustrations and everything. They're very disturbing illustrations, but they're illustrations. Like, see? This is illustration. See? I think that's just such a cool thing, and how it looks like a children's book, but it's very much an adult story, but kids could read it. They just won't understand the themes of the book. But they could read it and just think, oh, it's animals being bad and mean to each other. But it's far more complicated than that. And as an adult, you would understand it a lot better than a kid would. But I think kids could read it. Granted, it might give you... Actually, I don't know, because it might give you nightmares. But, okay, so next, number 7, your favorite new author, and that is Madeline Miller, the author of Song of Achilles and Circe. And as I've said in several videos, I have not read Song of Achilles, but I do want to read it. But I just finished, earlier, back in May, I finished Circe, which I absolutely loved, and it is going to be an answer to one of these questions. But yeah, I love how she writes, and I love how she makes these these stories, based on like antiquity stories more accessible and easy to read and to get into and understand, because most of those are written in either Shakespeare type, or they were written, the original was like a big epic poem that was hard to understand. I mean, so far my only knowledge of antiquity literature is, or in mythology, is like movies like Hercules and Helen and Troy, and and if I studied a little bit of in school, we studied Julius Caesar, which I guess no, that wouldn't be antiquity, but yeah. So this really, and bits and pieces I've heard here and there from others. So I love how she takes retellings of myth and makes them so much more interesting, easier to follow and understand, and to get into. Okay, so newest fictional crush, and I said again, I'm going to show you this book, Prince Magnus. I think he's one of those characters that's like, he seems cold and cruel and kind of an asshole on the surface, but he's actually a big old teddy bear, and he's really caring and sweet. He loves and cares about his sister, although his love for his sister is a little inappropriate. He's actually a sweetie and a very compassionate person. I think he just, because of his father and how his father is, he feels like he has to be an asshole, like his dad. He's trying to live up to his father's expectations, which, Dorian doesn't do that from Throne of Glass series, but still, I mean, you feel bad for the guy, and, you just want to give him a hug, and he's definitely on my list of favorite male characters that I crush on. Dorian and Kale are on that list as well. It's like a club. I have like a harem of male characters that I crush on, and some of them are also characters from TV shows and movies. So, yes, I love Magnus. He's adorable, and he's such a sweetie, and even if he acts like an asshole at times. Okay, next. Newest favorite character. And yes, I'm bringing this book up again, and that is Morgan Crow from the Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. She is such an awesome character. She's very snarky and sassy for such a young girl, and she's very honest and genuine. And she doesn't go throwing pity parties all the time. Yeah, she gets angry and emotional when her family, even her own biological family, makes her feel like she's worthless and makes her feel like she's just the bane of their existence, because she's believed to be a cursed child, and that everything that goes wrong is her fault because she's a cursed child. And she won't let Jupiter North go bullshitting around with her. She wants the truth from him and wants, he still evades the truth because there's this big little secret about Morgan and everything. And she's so adorable. I would love to adopt her as my little sister or as my daughter. I love Morgan. Morgan's awesome. Okay, next is a book that made you cry, and that's done because books rarely make me cry. I've never cried in a book before. I might get feelings here and there, but no actual physical tears have ever come out. And I'm not a heartless person because I cry during movies. Just because I don't cry during books doesn't mean I don't feel anything. I hate that. I know they're just teasing and everything, but it bugs me when people say, if you don't cry during this book, something's wrong with you. And I feel like I just don't cry when I read a book. I cry in a movie when I actually get a visual, but I don't cry during the book. And I always feel bad when people are all like, say comments like, something's wrong with you if you don't cry during this book. It's not that I don't get sad, it's just no physical tears actually come. Okay, so next is a book that made you happy, and once again, I'm gonna say this one. I almost said Home, a memoir of my early years, by Julie Andrews, and that did make me happy. I really enjoyed that. I love reading about Julie Andrews' life, but I chose this one, Once Again, Nevermore. The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I love this book. I love the whimsy, and it just made me feel good. And it was just so fun and thrilling and exciting, and it was easy read, and I was very happy to read this book. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so favorite book to movie adaptation. I've only seen a couple this year. I've seen I saw the newest Avenger movie, and yes, it's not technically a book, but it is based on a graphic novel, so that's just a book in another form. Which that was really awesome. So I guess I could say that one, because I didn't really have an answer, because the book adaptations, like, I saw The Circle, and even The Circle is not that great. You know, like, I don't like how they kind of changed May's she still was May Holland, but I feel like they kind of tried to make her more likable, and it's like, oh, so people won't like asshole characters? They have to be likable? That's the point! She's not supposed to be likable, and it just defeats the purpose. They were just trying to lighten her up a little bit, and it kind of annoyed me. I mean, she's not supposed to be likable. Why does she have to be likable? She's not supposed to be. The changes in The Circle movie bugged me. I mean, okay, I understand, like, a movie has 2 hours, and, like, you, at the longest, I mean, unless you're like Peter Jackson or James Cameron, then you might go beyond 2 hours. But even then, they have to screen the movie, make sure it's, like, really good and worth the 3 hours those movies were. And, you know, I get that, and I get there are some things you just can't do on the screen, even if they have even if their budget is pretty big when it comes to movies and stuff, there are just some things they can't do. And they have limited time to film, but, some of the changes they made I didn't understand them. They didn't make any sense. And I didn't like it. So, really, there was, like I said, the closest to good movie adaptations was, but then I can't really say the Avengers movie either, because I've never read a comic book. I've read a little bit of ElfQuest, which, as I've said before, is really good. And I've read a little bit of I've read some of the Sirens graphic novel, which is about the female characters of Gotham, like Selena Kyle and Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn, but I don't remember. I need to reread what I read before. So yeah, I can't really say the Avengers movie because I never read the comic. So I guess I can't really count. So really, I don't have an answer for this one. Like I said, The Circle wasn't that great of a movie. Okay, so favorite video you filmed on the channel. This was hard because I feel like all my videos could use some improvement. I'm just too lazy to go through all of them and redo them all. There's just too many. I'm just hoping to get better over time. I mean, maybe you guys, but I feel like it was hard to find a good one. I mean, some of my reviews, I think I've improved on them. So, I guess I ended up picking one, and that was one that I filmed recently, and that was the Rip It or Ship It book tag. I thought that was really fun to go through characters and see which ones. I mean, it was a little bit challenging, because I'm not as good at remembering things as some people are, and I always wonder, okay, am I remembering this character correctly? Would other people agree with me in this? So it was still fun. I guess it was really one of my favorite. I mean, although I did like my Harry Potter, why it would make a better TV show, why I think it would make a good TV show, that was fun. But I didn't do that this year. I did that last year, back in 2017. Or maybe at the end of 2000. No, I think it was in the beginning of 2017. But I liked that one too. I thought that I was very proud of that one. I wonder, I should look and see if that one's got any more views on it. So yeah, it was hard to find one, but I ended up picking the Rip It or Ship It, because that was fun. Most beautiful book you bought or read. And I said Circe by Madeline Miller. I love this cover. This cover's so beautiful. And like I said, as you can see, I'm beginning more into buying hardbacks. I love the gold in the image of Circe. I'm guessing this. I'm guessing this is who it's supposed to be. Obviously. Although looking at this makes me. I don't remember if they describe what she looks like. I would have to reread it. But I'm wondering, is Circe? I don't know why. Maybe because of the gold coloring, but I keep thinking she's supposed to be like dark skinned. But I don't know. I have to look at it again. But maybe not. Like have a darker skin tone, like at least olive or maybe black. I don't know. I hope that doesn't. But this cover is so beautiful. I love the gold, and I love covers where it looks like this is not just something on paper. It actually feels like it's coming. It's a little three-dimensional. Like if you have the American edition, just feel the cover. So I love it. There's a lot. Although I have to say, I really liked the cover of The Female Persuasion by Meg Waltzer. That was a book that I wanted to buy because Jen from Insert Literary Pun. I love Jen. I have a little girl crush on Jen. I hope that doesn't sound weird if you're watching this video, Jen from Insert Literary Pun, but I love listening to your videos. I just watched her video where she did a non-spoiler discussion of her thoughts on the Robin Hobb books, which I just started because Sam from Sam's Nonsense loves those books. She's another booktuber I absolutely love watching. And I gotta stop saying I still cannot get past the thing. Anyway, I bought that one because she talked about that. Well, actually, I didn't buy it. My mom, although she might have taken a little bit of money on my account when she bought it, but because it was like $28 at the store at Books A Million, so I went to Amazon. I was like, ooh, I wonder if it's cheaper on Amazon. And it was also a Prime product. And Prime means if you have a Prime account, then shipping is free. It doesn't cost anything if it's a Prime product. So I emailed my mom and was like, oh, by the way, this is a book I have been eyeing for a while. And I hope she would buy it for me, but I didn't think she would. Because technically, she told me, she requested that I not buy anything until July. Because, my convention, my trip to SuperCon, my SuperCon weekend is coming up. But she did, and it was a nice little surprise on Wednesday that I got in the mail. I was very happy, and I love that cover. And let's see if I can grab the. Oh, good, I can grab it. And I love this cover. I love the brightness of the cover. It's very simple, just the words and all that. But I just love how bright it is. It's not as pretty as Circe, but I still love the brightness and the colors. And and I'm just happy to have this book. I'm happy that my mom took the time. My mom actually bought it for me. I'm very grateful that she did. And then, okay, so let's see. So the last question number 15, books you need to read for the end of 2015, or 18, not 15, 18. And that is Mistborn, The Final Empire. This is a book I got back in Christmas of 2016. My friend bought this for me. She bought the whole trilogy, and I still never read it. So I've had it for almost a year now. And a year and, I guess, 6 months. And I have not read it, and I feel really bad. So I did start reading a little bit of it. And I really should have brought it with me yesterday when my dad, or not yesterday, Wednesday, my dad brought me to work early, and I brought a book in my lunchbox with me to read, during those few minutes I had before I had to go clock in. And because I was all excited, thinking Robin Hobb, and I was all excited to read Assassin's Apprentice, so I brought that one, even though I should have brought this one with me. in my lunchbox. The thing is, it's only a lunchbox, and I don't have a locker because normally I don't get there that early. And although I wasn't that early, and I don't, I'm only a half time, or I'm not a full time employee, so I only get like a 15-minute break to snack on something. So there's no point in me bringing a book. So when I have a lunchbox because I bring a snack and a water bottle with me to put in the little refrigerator. So I brought a book with me, and I can these size books are perfect because they're small, and I can put them in my lunchbox without, unfortunately I still can't close the lunchbox, not because of the book, but because now the Fiji water bottles are a lot taller, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. But I should have brought this one with me, but I didn't, because I'm kind of excited about reading Assassin's Apprentice. So I need to either way get started on that book. So that was the last question for the mid-year book tag. I did it again. I said it's so hard not to say because like when you don't know what to say right in the moment, right next, and you say so you're thinking about it, what to say next. If you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I hope everyone's enjoying their reading. And much love to my already subscribed people, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, bye!